I think it's best start at the beginning. Is like, what was it? Where was it? You out intentionally looking for a product specifically to sell? Like it's a boring product essentially as well, or was it by default? Was it a third party search? Like tell us how what was the impetus and why you're on a search for that toilet?
Yeah, so that is a great question, and it's probably the number one question: is how do you find a product to sell? That's step number one. So this product, like most things in life, came about organically. So I'd made an investment into a company called Goldie Caravans, which you guys can look up online, Goldy Caravans. It was a good friend of mine. He is a very passionate guy about that vintage retro kind of vibe era. And his idea was to build a retro looking caravan like the old Franklins from the 70s and 80s, but make them brand new with all the mod cons. And I knew the guy really well, so I gave him one of my factories. I invested in the company so that they had capital to start. And I worked there, not full-time, but almost full-time for the first 6 months to help them get going. So creating the branding, all that stuff. And the very first caravan that I sold for them was a lady who said, I want a incinerator toilet put in this. So I don't want the chemical toilet, I want an incinerator toilet from Cinderella. And I said, sure, no worries, having no idea what that was, right? So I quickly Googled it, and this was a toilet that burns poo. So it's like a cremation urn. So you do your oven, so you do your business, little steel flaps open up, you do your poop, and then the steel flaps close, and then like gas-powered torches like cook your poo until it goes to ash. Wow. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it had these big pipes that come out the back, and it was $7,500. Now, I've later learned that this guy who has the rights to that product in Australia makes most of his money selling it to dongers and mine sites and remote locations where there's no water. But for caravan use, when I rang Cinderella and said, hey, I've got a client, I'm from Goldie Caravans, we want to order one. They said, no, we're not going to sell it to you. And I'm like, why? And they said, because it can't go into an environment that's moving, because it rattle it and it'll move it around too much and we won't be able to warranty it. Then when we look closer, it wouldn't have fit in the van either, because you needed 6 inches of insert space for the venting system. So you need a vent through the floor and a vent out of the roof, and the vent hole was this big. And so I had to ring this customer at an $85,000 sale pending this toilet, because I said to her, whatever the toilet costs, you'll have to pay. She said, that's fine. She said, well, if I can't have that, I'm not having a caravan with a chemical toilet. I need you to find something else. So I was like, wow. So our first sale in this brand new caravan startup was hinging on a toilet. So of course I was forced into the situation of going hunting. And then I found these guys online in America, and I saw not that video, but I saw their videos and their website, and I said, hey, this looks incredible. Can I order 2 of them and get it down to Australia? So he shipped them down to me, and I opened the box and went and saw what you just saw on the video and was like, wow, this thing's amazing. It's patented. You can pick it up and put it anywhere. And then I started to learn about all the applications for it as a handicap or disability toilet, for bedside use, for portable homes, tiny homes. Now we sell them to remote Aboriginal communities in the far northwest. We've sold them to, like, we just had a tourism park in South Australia where all the rocks and geology and stuff is. They don't have any water out there, and they've just ordered them, just going, these are amazing. And we just sold some to BHP who want to put them in there. They've got 183 locomotives. So they want to put them into trains, they go into aeroplanes. So there's this really broad use case. So that's how I found the product, and then I negotiated the rights and different things.
So that's the second part of it. You found the toilet, you ordered one to fit this use case, or was the negotiations to be a distributor for that, or did you wait till you had it one in situ and yes, it's going to be the goods? What was the next step?
Yeah, so I got the product and was just genuinely wowed with the product. And I've been around products, right? Because I've had 10 years of not only selling on Amazon, but teaching 15,000 of our students. And I saw so many of these products. And I was like, oh, wow, this product ticked a lot of boxes. Number one, it was patented, so you can't copy it. Number two, it had a huge track record. They've been in business for 14 years in America. They don't do any advertising, and they've sold thousands and thousands of units. There was testimonials, and I started to look at, and it had the price point. So I don't like selling products for $50 online. I like products that are expensive because there's, even if this product's just over $2,000, let's say there's, 40 or 50% gross margin before cost in it. Let's say 50% just for ease of numbers. That's $1,000 between the buy price and the sell price to operate the business, right? And that's a lot different to having a $60 product with $30 to operate the business, because just advertising alone, will kill it. So the high ticket, and I'm sure you're going to draw me on this, James, of the numbers guy, and Mark as well. All of you are numbers guys. So I liked the high ticket. I liked the patent. I liked the fact that I wasn't really taking a risk from the standpoint it had already been proven as product market fit. I liked the fact I would be dealing with Americans. I really liked the fact of the back end, pardon the pun, that the toilet requires the bags. And so the more units I get in, it's like selling Xerox photocopiers. They need to be serviced, or they need the ink, or they need the consumables, right? So I love that about it, that I could essentially give away the profit on the front end to build a back end recurring income business. So I liked all of those factors.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Unemployable. If you want to watch another clip, click here, or if you want to see the full episode, click here. Bye for now.